Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we have here a Alfa 159 with a 1.9 16 valve multi-jet engine, and we have here a problem with the DPF. Like I always say before you start telling me to remove it, first of all, it is illegal to be removed, okay? And second of all, the DPF always clogs because of something else. So we want to find out what is the cause. I already know the cause because last week on the previous video I showed you how many, how bad was this timing, okay? And also another reason, the intercooler pipe down there is ruptured, okay? Those are the causes why the DPF is clogged. Now the clogging is so high that the car does not allow me to do a regen, okay? In this stage you want to remove it, have it clean and assemble everything again. Before doing that, I want to show you here something that I did try to do on another 159, the 8 valve one, on the other video that I did for, well, not just that, but I did include that. And I want to do that on this video. So I want to reach there the sensor that measures the pressure of the DPF, and I want to make the car think that the clogging is not that high, okay? In that way, allowing me to do a regen. Possibly we have to do 2 or 3 regens until we have a perfect DPF again without disassembling everything, okay? This may be especially useful on countries that corrosion is very intense, not here in Portugal. I'm just being lazy and I want to show you how to do that without taking anything apart. So we have here the P1206, so the DPF is clogged, okay, and we have here a error for a glow plug. It is important to do some regenerations, yes, but let's see here, possibly the glow plugs before doing this to help out for the regen, okay, and to stop the message on the dashboard. So let's go. Like I always say, fault codes mean, well, most of the times mean something, but I do not want to know the fault codes. I want to know the live data. Now, what I did on the road, I did this yesterday. I went to the car to the road to see power, like I told you on the last week or the last video, and I did see the airflow meter. It was working okay, and the turbo pressure was working okay, surprisingly with that turbo, but the car does not have enough power, and the pressure of the DPF is almost a bar. Whoa, that's a lot, okay? So I already told you how it's supposed to be, and let's check out that value, okay? So on the road I did saw the air meter, the air quantity. I saw the pressure somewhere. So the pressure, and I saw the DPF sensor. So in this way I want to see my objective and my measured here on the pressure, okay, millibars. I want to see my quantity of air, the objective and the measured, and on the road these 4 ones were good, and my pressure differential of the DPF is it's not good. Well, with ignition on is not good, should be zero, right? This should be around idle, okay, and at 3000 RPM should not pass 50 millibar. The ideal is around 20, around that, okay? So let's get the car running at idle and see that. Remember what I said about the hard start? That crank sensor, the cam sensor, and also the clock of the DPF. So at idle, we can see over here 100 millibars. That is a lot, okay? So I want to apply pressure on my sensor in a way that appears here only about 20, 50 millibars maximum, okay? Okay, so I did replace the glow plugs. Only 2 were bad, the other 2 were good. If you need videos for that, I have them down on the description, okay? Absolutely no need to replace here the control module. If you do that, probably you will use a aftermarket one, and after that, well, you have a real problem, okay? So the module over here is out, so I can reach over here the sensor that reads the pressure of the DPF, okay? And we have here a sensor seems to be broken, but it is not. It is just the version with one pipe, okay? Over here, there is no possible way to be mistaken. So what happens is you have here the pressure that comes from the DPF, and it is registered and sent to the control unit by this sensor. So what I will do is to, with this this pressure and vacuum gun, apply here around 50 millibar. And you say that is very difficult to see on the gauge. Yes, but you have the Autel machine, the diagnosis machine, to see that. So you can apply pressure and test the sensor in this way also, like I told you how to do on the sensor of the intake manifold for the turbo. And in this way you can create just a bit of pressure. At the same time, you have to cover this hole. And I discovered after 1 or 2 times, the best way to cover it is with another gauge. In this way, this gauge will read 1 kilo at 3000 RPM. And while it's doing the regen, I want to see my gauge falling down and over to 0. If one regen is not enough, the second one, of course, will be a little bit with less pressure and less and less and less. I hope in this way I can show you how the process is done, okay? Another thing, the engine is quite cold, and the regen has to be done with water temperature above 70 degrees. If you have a bad thermostat, you will clog up your DPF, no matter the brand of the car, okay? Happens a lot on Volkswagen products, okay? Now, I hope you understand this, and let me give you here just one more tip. If you have a sensor with 2 pipes, the second pipe only reads after the DPF. And it compares, well, what do you have after the DPF is atmospheric pressure, okay? So it compares the atmospheric pressure with the pressure on the DPF, okay? On this system over here, does not do that. It compares the atmospheric pressure reading by the ECU with the pressure on the DPF. Sometimes you can have a switch around of the pipes, and that can give you false readings. So be very careful with the assembly that someone previously did. On this case over here, there is absolutely no way to mess that up, okay? So this one is for my gun, and I want to insert 50 millibars on the sensor. Should be enough. If not, use something to hold it down. In here, I want to check the evolution of the pressure on my DPF. So the real pressure. Over here being 1 kilogram, you really have to have this very, very tight. If not, very hot exhaust will escape and burn the hose and whatever is in the way, okay? Before applying here 50 millibar, go check my Autel machine, check on live data, and see that number rising, okay? While the machine enters, during the regen process, I can confirm if any of the hoses come off, because the needle over there has to read something, and the pressure over here must stay around that pressure that I give it. So this 7 over here should be enough, but I want to give it just a little bit more. By the way, you can try to put this at 0. With the diagnosis machine, you can tell the car that the sensor is new. In that way, he will try to get this at 0, but that can be for the later stage, okay? Too much. You have to take out a bit. Okay. So let's try like this, okay? Now the car has to run for a bit. And after it is warmed up, I will order a regen. Okay, my number is 43 that I introduced with the pressure gauge, the pressure gun. Then I have my real pressure over here at idle. So this being 0, F a bar, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it corresponds, okay? Okay, so the machine reads here 36 degrees. That is the temperature of the engine, and I have to reach at least 70 degrees. After I reach that 70 degrees, I can confirm continue, not present right now because of that, and after that I can start my regen. Another thing is older generation cars will not regen with low fuel. Well, I did try. I did try. And for the first time ever, this one is really clogged. So the hose came off and the pressure was very high, above 1.5 kilos. I can retry, but I guess it will not be very nice. I really have to take out the DPF, okay, and have it cleaned up. You can try this for sure. You can try this for sure, yes, but this can happen. I'll try again. So this was unexpected. This hose also exploded, like I told you. As soon as you have nothing over there, like a sensor or something, the hose will melt up. Already did replace that. I'll do just one more run, and if the same happens, I just will take the DPF off to be cleaned up professionally, and that's it. Don't forget to clean up the fault codes because of all of the situation. Having fault codes will do for the car to not want to do what you ask for. The car now is testing the pressure, but the pressure is false, so it thinks everything is okay. It's not good. Better. Too much. It is too much. It can puff out at any moment. If it puffs out, we have to kill the engine. Smoke. Very high pressure. Okay, possibly better, or it ruptured, but let's see. of black smoke. That is nice. Now we are talking. Now I can see a lot of amount of air. I can feel it over here, actually, over here. So that is a good sign. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Very nice. Oh yeah, I know. It is a lot to ask to an engine that was 4 teats or toots or whatever out of timing. Yes, the engine can go bad, but we have to try it, right? So I think we are able to do so. I think we are able to the next regen, insert the sensor and do a regen as it should be done, with everything connected. In that way the car itself can confirm or not that this DPF is saved. I think it is. I think okay, 20 minutes has passed and it is going down. Not down, it is finishing. Then we have to go to the road again, see all the pressures again, and see if finally we have a good running car, okay? I believe we have. I believe we just saved this one. Oh yeah. Okay, no fault codes. So we have the fault codes for the glow plugs, that is gone. Only 2 were bad. We have, well, we lied about the pressure of the DPF, but I believe now the real pressure is very, very good. And remember that we have to have at 3000 the maximum 50 millibars. So we are not that close, but possibly we can do on the next regen, okay? So this is all very, very, very hot. Again, I'm sorry about the noise, but these jobs are just where they are. Always make sure to find the cause of this consequence. I have to inform the customer about the leak. The power steering pipe was repaired and it is leaking. I have videos for that if you need. One thing that sometimes people ask me is, while we are doing diagnosis, is the ignition on or off? Always on, okay? Sometimes it's very, very rare. The diagnosis tool asks you to shut down the ignition, but then it asks you again to turn it on. Now, I want to do here some replacements with the diagnosis machine. Of course, they are not true because I did not replace the sensor or the DPF, but the car, and with the different values that we have now, the car wants to know that that is true, that is different. Also, make sure to replace here the oil of the engine, or to indicate the car that you did replace the oil of the engine, because that has to be true. Okay, so it is at 98%, it is good. Now, for example, it asks you for a shutdown of the ignition. And the cat did turn on the blinkers. The machine does a countdown after the OK. So here is the sensor for the DPF pressure. In this way I want to try to adjust it at 0. Okay. Now I have here replacement of the precat, replacement of the DPF, or regen of the DPF. I think I'll do the replacement of the DPF itself, okay? Asks you to turn on the car. The starter is very bad. So the requirements are brake pedal off, clutch pedal off, and water temperature above 70 degrees. It is at 86, so we are good to go, because also we have here the OK. If some of these 3 requirements are not OK, the OK button will not appear here with this diagnosis machine. This is the Autel one, and this machine uses the original software, okay, for all brands, makes and models, okay. Once I press the OK, it will start to do the regen, reading the values of the sensor that is now connected. Here we go again. So the pressure is still a little bit too high, because we had a intermittent fault code for that. So I believe now on the road the car can manage to do the rest. And let's try the car on the road now. So on the road, let's see if everything adds up, all the pressures. In that way, seeing if the car is ready. So car on. If the the starter wants to, it's heat soaked. So here on live data with the engine running, we want to see air quantity, air pressure, and DPF pressure. 3 things, okay? So we have 10 millibars over here at idle. If the sensor is still reading 6 or 7, that's excellent. That means 3 millibars. I will try in a minute. So the sensor reads 4, okay? So it should be 0, but there is close enough. So 4 to 10 is 6 millibar. So 6 millibar at idle, that is very, very, very good. Let's see then at with the engine running, okay? With the engine accelerated. At 3000 RPM. Sustained at 3000, around 40. Okay, I think that is good enough for the run and for the car to regen itself. Now the values of the DPF clogging will vary on the road, and they are not important to see during driving, okay, but they vary in between 0 and around 300. Okay, so we are good. I really do not know why, but the camera does not want to focus recording a screen. I was saying that the DPF pressure on the road is not very important. Okay, it's important for the car, but so you to see it is not very important. It will vary between 0 or 3 or 4 millibars and around 200 to 50, 300 the most, okay? But the testing to do is, like I told you, ignition on, idle, and 3000 RPM sustained with the car stopped, okay? On the road you want to see turbo pressure and mass airflow meter, okay? And on this car is excellent. I already did saw that previously, but the car did not have any power, like at all, nothing, and now the car just pulls and pulls and pulls, but the gearbox is on this last leg, so I will not give it too much. Plus I do not have enough fuel, okay? But it's done, it's fixed. The cleaning, the professional cleaning, is around 150 euros plus the labor of disassemble and assemble, so let's call it 200, okay? And with what, 1 or 2 hours of work only doing this, and the regen was always to be expected after doing the professional cleaning, I think we are done for half the price, okay? I believe so. My ankle is killing me, okay? Yeah, if you want to know more videos with the diagnosis machine, I have a playlist only with diagnosis videos, okay, with the machine. And if you want videos for DPFs and whatnot, I have a playlist only with that too. They are down on the description, okay? If you want to see last week video, it is down on the description or on the channel or whatever you want to see it, okay? In that video I took care of the timing. It was very bad, and for that you have a playlist also down on the description for timing chains, timing belts, timing everything, okay? Almost everything, almost. I'm getting there, okay? I see you on the next one, guys. Bye!